Nostradamus, what does he have predicted for 2024? You know, he's a famous, almost prophet of sorts, prognosticator, if you will.
That was the word I was looking. I was going to say
proctologist,
predictor.
16th century seer, and you know, there's lots to look forward to, including war, famine, and more.
Awesome.
Nice.
In 2024, now in his quatrains, Katie.
Yeah.
That's how he wrote them.
Yeah.
He did. And he didn't say specific years, but everyone that studies him says these are for this year. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
well, how many years do
2024.
people say that this guy is predicting forever, or eventually by the year, some year he stops doing this?
I think that he at some point predicts the end of the world, so that will be the last one.
Oh, great.
Well,
But then
that will be
he
all.
comes back somehow, some way, and then continues to predict.
Yes. Well, in 2024, war with China.
Oh, boy.
Well, that doesn't seem far-fetched, does
No,
it?
it doesn't.
No, not at all.
The legendary French astrologer, he talks about in one verse, says, the red adversary will become pale with fear, putting the great ocean in dread. A reference to China and confrontation with our Navy is what he's thinking.
Okay, I don't like the sound of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and how
China,
many
by
of
the
these
way,
came
sorry.
true?
Well, I don't know. We have to go back and look.
Oh, yeah,
Or
I'm
does
not
he have
sure.
a good history
I
of...
saw one, Jason, to answer your question. Sorry if I interrupted you.
No,
but
go ahead.
somebody, there's, you know, how documentaries can be, showed, I saw this in like before 2001, but it was some sort of prediction of a flying thing into two tall buildings. And I was like, what is that? And then a couple years later, the Twin Towers.
Oh,
I mean, it was talking about, because they didn't have planes then, but the way he's talking about it, there'd be this great destruction in a major city, and it was talking about these two giant pillars would be knocked to the ground. And even in the video, they showed, well, this could possibly mean planes flying into buildings. I'm like, what? And a few years later, it happened.
well, if South Park can get it correct.
Right.
I mean, they've been predicting the future.
Simpsons.
And the
Simpsons.
Simpsons. And
Yeah.
I mean, they've been doing it, and whether people like to admit it or not, they've predicted a lot of things.
But do you think that's just because you go back in hindsight and then they threw out so much that something they can tie it together?
I don't know. Some of it is really specific.
Yeah, I just Googled the predictions he's made that were correct, and it was the death of King Henry, Great Fire of London, the coming of Adolf Hitler, the two bombs in Japan, and the Kennedy assassination are some of the most well-known ones he's predicted.
Those are pretty big.
Yeah.
Pretty specific.
Yeah.
And then China boasts the biggest navy in the world. So that's a part of
That's
it.
scary.
Yeah. King Charles gets the boot, according to Nostradamus.
He just got it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Although, I gotta say, part of me, for some reason, thinks this might happen.
Well, he said it, so it has to, right?
Well, I just feel like, based on my extensive knowledge of the royal family, I know way too much, and I wish I didn't. I think, like, part of me thinks that maybe King Charles is going to abdicate and give it to his son. Maybe that's just because I wish that it would be William, but I feel like Charles has not won or loved the spotlight his entire life. Like, he's always wanted to be in the spotlight, and then when he gets it, it's never enough.
And he's not good at it.
And he's not good at it, and so I think he's better behind the scenes. And
And he's not well loved in England.
When you
It's-
say this, is this like an interpretation
Yeah.
of what he's saying? Like, he doesn't specifically say and name this, right?
No, he
thought-
says,
yeah.
He's always says a soothsayer, I'm sorry, Nostradamus said, referred to King of the Isles, who said would have a controversial divorce and then eventually be driven out by force.
which he already had. Charles already had the controversial divorce with Diana, and people are maybe starting to come around to Camilla, but
So you believe not this? You believe that these?
I don't think it's gospel. I don't think Nostradamus is like that. He's what he says is going to be. But in this particular case, I think that could happen.
Yeah, and it says he would be replaced by someone who has no mark of a king, which some people are saying would be Prince Harry and not William.
Okay, I don't. That's too far fetched. William is made for this job.
Now you've lost Katie.
Yeah, I'm
and
off
he
that
made
part.
that prediction, and we didn't know that he would say he didn't want to be a part of the royal family.
Yeah.
Give it
Yeah.
to the spare.
Interesting.
And it talks about having younger, it might be younger too.
Okay.
All right, and then we also have a new pope, Katie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pope Francis isn't getting any younger. He's 86.
Also in not great health.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been for a while. He's had a lot of health issues.
It says, through the death of a very old pontiff, if what Nostradamus said, a Roman of good age will be elected. They're thinking there'll be a much younger pope this time around.
And he said this for this year.
Yep. As far as they can tell, it'd be for 2024.
I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I wouldn't
and
either.
I love Pope
I'm
Francis,
just,
but yeah.
how is he? How are we getting? Is that this time? Are we just picking things here?
I don't know. Maybe he's like.
Jason, you've asked the same question 7 different ways.
I don't know how else to answer
You
you.
got the same answer, dog.
The answer's not changing.
I don't know how else to say it.
I'm trying to
But
make.
how?
I'm trying to make it so it's not about war and death.
Well-
so we're not tied into this because it seems like there was already a bunch of doom and gloom the last few years. Let's move in a more positive direction.
I would
it's
like
the
that.
2nd of January for crying out loud.
What do you have that's positive? Why don't you throw something out?
What do I have that's positive?
I don't know.
It's like,
Yeah.
what does positive
Nothing.
I
mean?
can't predict the future like this guy's doing.
Yeah, well, we don't know. We'll see.
Just take a stab
Some
at
more
it.
good news, Jason. Nostradamus predicts famine, like a worldwide famine.
Nice.
Lots of starvation going on.
I can see. Does this guy have anything positive to say?
No.
Well, that could lead to weight loss. That's positive,
There,
Jason.
look at that.
How you
Yes.
spin it?
But has he said positive things though? Is it always this doom?
But this is like
Maybe
your,
a younger pope for some might be positive. I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean, you don't want to think about somebody dying, but maybe a younger pope would be.
But
you know.
you're not hearing anything like, and this year everybody's gonna become richer and have everything they need. You don't
Well,
have
that's
to hear
just
that.
not feasible.
Well, if it's not true,
I
he's not going to
mean-
predict it.
Yeah.
Nostradamus said the dry earth will grow more parched and there will be great floods. So it'll be famine and floods.
nice.
And a very great famine through a something, a
Maybe
wave.
just skip that word.
Pestiferious wave. I don't know what that means. Instead of be widespread starvation, they think that may be caused by a tsunami. So lots of the fun things to look forward to.
Well, aren't there tsunami warnings right now in Japan because of the
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh gosh,
Yikes.
Pretty cool.
it is cool.
Okay.
And I've
Very
heard,
exciting.
I've heard that there's rumors that a solar flare from the sun is going to pop off this year and get too close to Earth and shut down Wi-Fi for a couple months. So they're saying go
Better
ahead,
not.
prepare for go ahead and stock up on food because you might need it for.
Well,
a couple,
now
like a
that
month
you
or
Squid
so.
said that, recently something was happening with the or the radio stations around here, and I said, "What is going on?" And our engineer sent us the thing that these solar flares are real. The biggest one happened in years here, and it messed with the radio waves. It actually did happen, so it's very
Of course.
possible something like that could
Of
happen.
course it did. Of course, it's
there'd
radio.
Be some like once in a lifetime thing. It would destroy our career.
I mean,
Just radio. Not TV.
Not TV, just
No,
radio.
Just radio.
well, it might also deal with TV, but I'm just saying, right? We come across on Wi-Fi too. I mean, so all these signals can get messed up, I guess. I mean, think about it. We don't know anything. We can't even see the damn things.
Jason, I feel like, I thought that talking about the doom and the gloom was right up your alley.
Yeah,
I was,
I
but
thought-
And you're normally the
I
one.
was going into a positive type thinking.
You have to give us
for
a
the
heads
new
up
year.
on that.
Since when?
Yeah, that's never.
for the new year. It's the 2nd of the year. Trust me, it'll wear out in a few weeks. Maybe even by the end of the day, it seems like.
Maybe by the end of the show.
Yeah.
When you heard Squid said, we should get your food
Your
storage.
food storage.
Since I've been on the show,
Yeah.
our church has always encouraged a year's supply of food.
Mhm.
You never know. It's not just for catastrophes. It could be if you lose your job and stuff
Sure.
like that. But or even if the Wi-Fi goes out, because it would affect other things, I guess.
Oh,
what you're
yeah.
If
saying.
your Wi-Fi
Detrimental.
goes out,
Yeah.
you got to have something to eat.
Oh,
'cause what
right.
else are you going to be doing?
And the
Right.
banking and everything. would be
Right
messed up.
now, we depend on Wi-Fi like we do on power.
Yep.
I mean, if it goes out, hospitals are done. We can't even manufacture things. We can't even get gas, I don't think.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Still be able to charge my car.
This
maybe.
is not how I was planning to start the new year.
Cheers. Cheers. Happy New Year.
Yay.